She's April.
And she's Molly.
And we are
the Book Besties.
With no sketchy.
This is not a Christmas-themed discussion, apparently.
I have to tell you guys about my dream last night.
You don't have to shove a Christmas tree up somebody's ass to make it a holiday book.
I don't know, guys. My husband's really fucked up.
I'm actually going to agree with Tom.
Look, Molly is putting us back on the rails.
I think everybody really enjoyed it. We need a new sign-on that's just like, she's April, she's Molly, she's Nurse Katie.
Right?
You come on so frequently now that we just like need to add you to like the intro.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited to be here today. I was telling some people in Milwaukee when I was there about the pod, and the one guy was like, "Oh my god, you're totally on here like 3 or 4 times." I was like, "Yeah."
You're like, "Yeah, I kind of know."
You never miss an opportunity to plug the Book Besties.
Word.
Also, I am the medical expert.
Right? Mm-hmm. I am the Nurse Katie. Yeah.
The Nurse Katie. There is one and only. There is one and only.
There's a display in my library right now that has 2 of the 3 December books that we are covering on pod on the display. And I didn't even make the display. So I texted it to Molly and she's like, "You should stick Book Bestie stickers in there." I was like, no.
Yeah, just slide them in there. Nobody's going to notice. I do it all the time at Barnes and Nobles.
No, you do not.
I do too. I seriously do. At Barnes and Nobles, I will see books. I see Book Bestie stickers or like Book Bestie things, and I'll like fold either a flyer over if I have it in my purse or a couple stickers, and I'll shove them in the between. But I won't do a quick top one. I do it like the second or the third book so nobody notices. Lessons in Chemistry, I've done this in Bowie. I've done it in Brandywine. I've done it in DC. The gift shop in that bookstore I went to, the Nikki Payne thing, they let me put some in their books. So like I am guerrilla marketing here, guys. Guerrilla marketing.
Like I'm the one person out of like our team, including Tom. We can't really promote the podcast.
No, because of your job.
Yeah.
Like there's a few people. Well, the people I immediately work with, some of them know about it because they've actually suggested books for the podcast. But like, I don't talk about it with the parents because this is not. Like this is not
no. This is not G-rated.
This is not Youth and Family Services. Okay, yeah.
No. I know that you know that that's what my department is.
I do. YFS. Yeah.
I have to tell you guys about my dream last night because I had a dream that would make an excellent dystopian novel or movie.
Okay.
So this is what happened. There were 2 types of people. There were like the red bloods and the blue bloods. And it was less desirable to be a blue blood. And don't get at me because of the literary idea of a blue blood. And don't get at me, Katie, because I know our blood isn't really red. I get it. Okay. So the red bloods and the blue bloods. And it was much more desirable to be a red blood. And there were a lot more like issues with birth defects and genetic dispositions if you were a blue blood. So they basically kicked all those people out and dropped a wall. So, there's an us versus them thing.
Okay.
And so there definitely was like a rebel thing going on, but I wasn't a part of that. My parents were just trying to, and not my real parents. Not my real.
Your fictitious
the
fantasy
parents in this book who probably would have wanted better for me than my actual parents. They wanted me to go inside the wall and pretend to be a red blood. And there were all these like scanners and things that like would like point out if you were a blue blood. And so you had to like figure out ways to fake it. So like you could be standing in line and like at like a hotel a college cafeteria, and they would still be like scanning you. So I had like implanted things that like would trick the sensors. Okay. And so I go to college there and I meet Tom and I fall in love with him, which is so cute. It was my actual husband in the dream. And I marry him. But the problem is I never tell him the truth because there's such a hatred of the blue bloods that I would never want him to know the truth because he would turn me in. Like that's what the red bloods would do. They would turn people in, very like Nazi, like my neighbor is a Jewish person, like turn him in. And so we have the boys, we have James and we have Sam, and the rebels like come in and attack, and they lose because that's usually what happens in book 1. So the rebels lose.
That's what happens in book 1.
And the people in power crack down, and they're going to find all of us that are in the city.
Oh,
and so
no.
they start even more intense scans, and I get caught. And I actually get caught by a peacekeeper, police officer, whatever, who is somebody I actually know IRL here in town. But that person is not a real peacekeeper, like police officer in real life, but in this, they're a peacekeeper, and they like slip me a note to like tell their family that they're okay, that they've been able to circumvent all of this. So I have it, and I'm in like the holding place, and everyone's kind of freaking out, and I'm calm, which no, but I'm calm.
This is how I knew it was a dream.
Like,
yeah.
Exactly. Everyone's like, how are you so calm? And I'm like, I can't let them know who I really am because I got married. They're like, that's like rule number 1, that you don't fall in love and you don't get married. And I was like, it gets worse. I have kids. They're like, oh no, like this is bad because the blue blood and the red blood mixed together could
You're purple now.
No, you could have, the anomaly, and they could be blue bloods as well, and whatever. So to basically shame those of us have been captured, they bring in friends and family, people who knew you, and they like mock you, right? They ridicule you while you're in this like holding cell. That's how I find out that Sammy also got caught, and he has now moved into the cell with me. So I've got me and Sam are in there together, and
you're breaking my heart.
Right.
I am like fully invested though.
Right? It's so good. So mocking us is like, there to mock us is like Tom and Sam, or Tom and James. And Tom is not mocking us because it turns out, well, James is like mocking us really hard because he has grown up to hate these people, and they are awful.
That's what he learned in school.
Right. Even though we didn't teach him that. Like, that's what he's learned, to hate. Turns out secretly Tom has also been a blue blood the whole time. And he didn't tell me the truth because he didn't want me to turn him in. And it turns out we were both blue bloods, and Tom has been in the rebel side the whole time.
Yes, go Tom!
This is a book.
Wrong side of history.
I know it's a book.
This is a book, woman.
I know. So,
you just gotta cut your whole family out of it.
There's a trilogy there.
You just gotta cut your whole family out of it.
James is on the wrong side, and we need to bring him back.
Yes.
But he's logical. You know what I mean? He's logical. He's gonna go with logic and rule.
James needs to be like 17 or 18, and then he can like join the rebellion. Like he can come over at the end of book 2 and like help lead the rebellion.
Well, where I am in the dream right now, James is still 10 and he hates me. And he feels really embarrassed that I'm his mom, which is, I'm pretty cringe in general.
Same.
So
also that
he's cringe with me. But anyway, that was my dream, and I woke up and I was like, that would be an amazing book.
Damn.
Was it like first person or was it third person that you were seeing it?
It was me. I both, actually. Yeah. So I would see myself, but then I would also see like through my eyes. I was like both. Oh. It was all really cool. But yeah, it was amazing. Tom was still on the outside, and he was still safe, and he had James. But the only reason he came to the mockery was so that he could make sure I was okay. And also because he didn't know where Sam was.
Yeah.
And we didn't know Sam was a blue blood because we had our babies at home so that they wouldn't be typed at the hospital.
Damn.
Yep.
There was
a lot of books 1, 2, and 3. Yep.
Let me get this straight. You figured out a whole novel,
a
trilogy while you slept last night.
Yes.
And what was that? 8 hours. And
I doubt I actually dreamed for 8 hours.
I got 7 locations done today. and all of day 1 mapped out. So that's something. And I did another map. So stuff is done here. I mean, it's not a full trilogy like you, but
I've just been at church today, and we went to lunch. So then I've been working on Christmas presents. That was my dream.
That was pretty cool.
Girl. Mm-hmm.
I know, right? Like, I
Definitely
would read
book
the hell out of
into
that
to
book.
big film. Heck yeah.
Right. I would read the hell out of that. It was amazing.
Get
Now you have
Suzanne
to write
Collins
it.
on the phone. Yep.
Tom
Now
was
you have-
like, yeah, you could like reuse the set from Divergent. And I was like,
No.
good plan.
Or,
don't like
or
Divergent.
Tom, we could make my own set.
So there it is. Molly, go ahead and write it. I am not the writer.
I'm in the middle of something right now, actually.
Well, I've given you the idea and we have it recorded so you can reference it later.
There you go.
Sure.
But if this book comes out and it's not attached to someone that's in here right now,
In this
I'm
room?
suing the shit out of them.
Same. How many? I mean, but like, I'm still like waiting to see if What's His Face steals my book idea from Con. I did give him a really great idea.
Anthony Mara.
Yeah, he definitely seems super interested in my book ideas. So I'm watching you, Mara.
Writes it, it'll be like a smart people book.
Right, but it's
So
still my
smart.
fucking idea.
Yeah.
Still my fucking idea, though.
You can't, like, can you, like, literally sue people for stuff like that, though?
It's
It's intellectual property.
That's
and
what
especially
I thought.
since it was filmed and I was telling him about it and explaining it to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's documented.
It's documented. I have proof. I explained it to him before he even thought of the
That's
idea.
why a lot of people lose, because they don't have it documented.
But I talk about everything on camera because I have no fucking filter, guys.
It's true, she doesn't. Can confirm.
So this week I'm not hosting.
I'm not hosting either.
I'm hosting.
So
you want to tell us what we're here to talk about, Katie?
We are here to talk about in a holidays. Okay, can we just stop for a second though?
Okay.
Like
I read
recording?
No, just like pause for this
like
moment.
our conversation. Do we need to take a breath? What are we stopping for?
Just pause for a minute before we start on this book, because I read all those smut books to rack up my numbers, and my Kindle says more by the author, Her Naughty Soldier. Naughty Nights Book 3. So
I started a book
I don't need your shit right now, Kindle.
Stop mocking me, Kindle. Stop.
I started a book this morning, an audiobook that just happened to be on the app that I share with Tom, which, I don't know, guys. My husband's really fucked up. Anyway, this book is called Naughty Nicks, and it's a 3-hour long novella that started with a girl picking a guy up in a bar and him saying, "You want to have sex with me? You don't even know me." And she goes, "I didn't know that was a requirement." So it's not for me, but it's going to get the numbers there.
I have mine on my Kindle. I have the book we were reading on my Kindle. You probably can't see it because my lighting's all jacked up.
In Holidaze by Christina Lauren.
My Kindle cover looks the same as April's in-person cover. So
I like that they're two women that write together and they've combined their name.
It's cute.
It's a question. Don't go there yet. We'll get there.
Hands up.
I read the questions. How did I miss that? Okay.
Girl, I don't know.
It's like the first question.
Are you going to give us a synopsis?
I am, but I'm going to read it off of Goodreads.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm not disappointed. Or I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Listen, I don't know how you guys do this every week. This is why I am not a full-time bestie, because I was looking through it. I thought, I don't know what the hell to write. Half the time I'm just like, books are either yay or no for me. And y'all get into all the intricacies, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't know how to put that into words.
There once we have degrees in it. Malin Jones, who lived a life of Groundhog's Day, but at Christmas. She also liked this guy Andrew,
who was her childhood bestie because she grew up with him and his brothers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her parents,
a whole bunch of nicknames, and these families have what is literally my nightmare of spending the holidays every year with
in a small, unupdated house in Park City, Utah.
I don't want to be in Utah, but the small house with my favorite people, I'm here for it.
Nope.
Okay, I won't invite you guys for Christmas when I get one then.
I love the both of you so much, and I even love your kids, but I
Same.
do not want to spend 2 weeks with you every Christmas.
It's exhausting, just the thought of it.
Like having to be on all the time.
People are divorced and they're still doing it? Okay.
Yeah.
Synopsis.
Hey, hold on. See? Now we were farting around and it closed. Stand by.
Totally off topic. April, I used your boys' names when I was writing today. They are two of the they're James and Sam are now the founders of the town.
Love that.
They're not murderers, are they?
No, their last names aren't Watkins either, though.
But they're not murderers, are they?
No. They're just founders of a coal town in Pennsylvania.
Are they good kids or good people?
Sure. It's literally just I needed founder names.
You fucking mapped out 7 different locations and have built a world in a book that isn't fantasy, and you can't tell me if the characters that you name my children after are good people?
They're the founders. Of course they're good people.
They're the founders of town. This country that were not good people.
That's true. I would not name make people evil that were named after your children. Let's just assume that.
I can assume nothing with you.
That is also factual.
Okay, synopsis. If I have to keep us on the rails today, guys, we're fucked, okay? I just want to make that very clear, okay?
It's fine. I'll rein us in. It's fine.
Sure. All right. It's the most wonderful time of year, but not for Maylin Jones. She's living with her parents, hates her going nowhere job, and has just made a romantic error of epic proportions. But perhaps worst of all, this is the last Christmas May will be at her favorite place in the world, the snowy Utah cabin where she and her family have spent every holiday since she was born, along with 2 other beloved families. Mentally melting down as she drives away from the cabin for the final time, May throws out what she thinks is a simple plea to the universe. Please, show me what will make me happy. The next thing she knows, tires screech and metal collides, everything goes black. When May wakes up, she's on an airplane bound for Utah where she begins the same holiday over again. And then I'm not reading the rest of it because I don't agree with the statements that Goodreads said.
Jam-packed with Yuletide cheers.
Yeah. It's not.
There is a lot of family drama.
There's a lot of family drama.
There's a lot of family togetherness, forced togetherness.
Lots of boys. So, yeah. Okay. So, question 1, as alluded to by April. This is the first book that I personally have read by a combo of authors. This is Christina Lauren. I think so. Like, I don't recall
Did you read
ever.
The Royal We?
No shit, that's by combo?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 authors.
I didn't know that. Well, okay, then I guess
I
have. Yeah.
Where is it? Heather Cox and Jessica Morgan.
You know what? I did know that. But in my brain, it wasn't because it was audio.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I read the other 2 of those too. So, anywho. Okay.
There's only 2
so,
books in the series, but okay.
No, wasn't there? They have a baby in the 3rd one, don't they?
Yeah.
What?
Nope, that's the 2nd one.
Why did I think it was the 3rd one? Anywho. Okay.
All right.
Yes. Okay. How do you feel reading combo authors went, and could you tell that it was 2 voices?
I think this one was less apparent than any other dual authors I've read. A lot of times when I read dual authors, they're writing 2 different characters. So, for example, John Green has a book that he co-writes with somebody, and he writes one character and the other guy writes the other character. And I'm sure that there was a process of them like mingling those stories together. But it's very apparent that one guy wrote this and one guy wrote this. Whereas I think what Christina Lauren are doing is they have made themselves one. Mm-hmm. So until we read that book, Dead Romantics, I actually didn't know that Christina Lauren were 2 women. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just a woman whose name was Christina Lauren.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Or Lauren anyway, but I had never read them before. And I mean, by the way, their author pick is so cute. Like, they are obviously cutesy girls.
That's adorable.
I mean, and they've been writing partners forever. I mean, a long, long time. So I couldn't tell.
It felt smooth to me.
Mhm.
My favorite writing combo is obviously Good Omens because you got Terry and Neil
Yeah, you
Gaiman
can't tell in
together.
Yeah.
that one either.
Yeah, you can't tell now.
You
I
can't
guess
tell
I've
in
read
that
that
one.
one too. Duh. I guess
Um,
I've read way more
but
combos than I
I
thought.
didn't
So,
know.
Maybe
Like
Katie doesn't host ever again.
I went. Aw,
Guys, you can't, if you're listening to the audio and you can't see, Katie just made like the saddest puppy face ever. I was kidding.
it's
ish.
fine. I pick
Um,
shitty books. Kids
no,
get
this book. I like
killed.
this
I don't
book.
get the
And I liked
synopsis.
it.
It's fine.
Shush,
It's fine.
Dior.
It's fine.
But I didn't know this was two authors till your notes, and I was like, "Oh shit, cool
Yeah.
beans."
You didn't gather that from Dead Romantics when she repeatedly says Christina Lauren is two authors?
No,
Cool.
totally didn't pay attention.
Cool.
Honey, come on, it's me.
Dead Romantics
Fucking
was
Pete's sake.
kind of forgettable too. Like she
And Dead
literally got
Romantics
it
was
on
like
with
a
a
bazillion,
ghost. So
and that was a bazillion months ago.
So the problem is that I tend to remember things a lot better than I want to.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing
we
that.
read that book this year. It was one of the 100 that I read, so I think it's okay.
Yeah, my back hurts. Sorry.
Man, Katie, just
killing
the
it.
IRL shade. Mm-hmm, sure.
This book gives more Groundhog Day vibes than Christmas vibes. Do you feel like the Christmas setting was necessary?
Yes.
Why?
Christmas magic. That's how. Here's the deal. If this happened on like a 4th of July weekend or an Easter weekend or some other Labor Day or some bullshit where they gather together for 2 weeks in the summer or whatever, and she leaves and she goes, "Send me a sign," as they're leaving, and they crash into it doesn't have the holiday magic, right? Reason for the season bullshit. The reason we have that. This is like my big problem with this is like figuring out why she reverted back in time is never explained. There is no, like, what was that book where the guy kept going back in time, April, and he kept reliving his life? Fuck, what was that?
Hang on, I'll look it up.
But in that book, he kept reverting, right? She only reverts once, and then we just kind of stopped talking about it. Like it never really happened. And maybe twice. But twice. But
she comes back 3 times. The third time is like the one that sticks.
Right.
Sticks.
But it feels like we get to that third time and then the magic's gone. She's just stuck there. That's it. Moving forward, pushing forward. It's a normal book again. There was no magic ever. And okay, so the book. What was the book again, April?
Opposite of Always. He kept, I mean, there's actually a part in that book where he's like, I've only told you about like 5 times, but it was like additional, whatever.
This book, The Holidaze, it needed the magic in the holiday to like hold the magical setting up, but she didn't follow through with it, right? It's like, ooh, look at all this Christmas magic. And then she's like, I don't got any more Christmas magic. You guys can eat shit.
That's why I felt like it was more Groundhog Day than holiday magic.
So I think it needed to be Christmas because I just don't think that there's a reason for them all to be together otherwise. And you know, you get all the traditions that they have at Christmas and everything, and I think that's what like really made it Christmassy. But my biggest complaint about this book, and actually what I put on Goodreads, is that it needed 1 or 2 more times of her going back and coming.
Agreed.
Like I feel like 2 failed attempts and 1 time that stuck is just not enough.
Like she needed to get to the end of the holiday and like have this perfect week with him and fuck one thing up and just get.
No,
you know what I mean?
I didn't want that. I didn't want her to start all the way back over.
Yeah,
but I wanted 1 or 2 more times that she made it further.
She definitely needed to fuck up more. She definitely like. We did not embrace the restart enough. We did not in this book.
I agree, but I don't think like the first time that she sleeps with him, with Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
I needed that to be the time that stuck, which is what it was, but I needed a couple more times before that, where she still fucked up her opportunity with him.
Yeah.
For whatever
That's
reason.
fair.
Yeah.
All right. There were a lot of characters in this book.
There were too many characters.
Do you feel that they were actually needed? My biggest complaint was, what was the point of having the gay couple with the children's? Like,
yes,
we've talked about
twins,
representation, but like representation when it's actual representation. Like,
necessary.
Don't just put in a gay couple because you're in Utah and look how progressive we are. Like, what did they... I don't feel like having that label of the gay couple added to the story. And like,
no.
we didn't need the little kids to drive the story.
When I was just like an hour from the end of the audiobook, I texted both of you and I was like, why don't you remind me how the gay guys are connected to this? Like, are they related to somebody? Because one of them was a roommate of the other guys in college, but I completely forgot that because the men, that couple, are so like out of the main story. Now the twins are heavily in the story.
Yep.
Twins could have been anybody. You could have made one of the kid ups.
Yeah.
They could have had a kid, had the twins, like one of the kid ups. Those could
definitely could have been
grandkids.
Yeah, they definitely could have had more kid ups and less of the grown ups. I feel like they were trying to fill in this found family narrative that they had in mind, and they were like, okay, they felt like they had this. I feel like it was like they have this equation in their mind. Okay, we need this kind of couple, and this kind of couple. We need a divorced couple. We need this, and to make this all work, we need the one uncle that's like. And they were just trying to throw these all these just little family
boxes.
It just wasn't meshing the way they were hoping it to. The zipper just wasn't working.
Because they have the long married couple, they have the divorced couple, they have the gay couple. They have this single uncle who's like kind of like, he's a stoner. Like he's just always.
Speaking of, I am not going to spend Christmas with my ex-husband. I'm not.
Yeah, hard pass.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. And I'm going to go spend it with my husband. Fuck you.
In addition to that, I'm not going to let my new spouse spend Christmas with her ex.
And be same roof that you've been sharing for the last 20-some years.
Tell me that in all that time that those two were divorced, they didn't have a drunken night where they banged. They 100%.
Same time next year, boo. So yeah,
we get to pretend to be family for
the only thing they ever had in common were their friends and sex.
Right.
Yeah.
Sex
exactly.
And mockery.
Sex and mockery.
Yeah, I'm not here for that. I was trying to figure it out because I remembered didn't I read that they were divorced? And then I was like, maybe I'm confusing this with another book.
And what's wild is while I have all these complaints, I enjoyed this book. It kept me entertained.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing that we keep saying. The three of us read a lot of books.
So many.
And some of them are really bad, and some of them are really good. And then there are ones that we like that we can pick apart.
Yep.
I just DNF'd the second book in the American Royal series today.
I have zero desire to read ever again the American Royal series.
Yeah. And
I bought all those Kendra Thomas books, and I haven't read any of them.
Nope, same.
Since she was on that first episode.
Same.
With us. I can't bring myself to do it.
Not after,
But I supported her. I bought all the books.
I know. Me too.
Hindsight's 2020, yo.
Word.
But Instagram be permanent. You put it on Instagram, it's going to be there forever. Yeah.
Foot in the mouth.
All right. So along with all of these characters, one thing that just absolutely drove me nuts in this book was that they called the main character 15,000 nicknames. Noodle, May, Maisie. I legit forgot what her actual name was and had to go to Goodreads and what the hell is her name even?
When I was writing my Goodreads review, I had to look up to see what her actual name was.
Yeah.
Because Maisie was what I kept referring to her as because that's what Andrew calls her. So
I need context.
Right.
I need context. If we're gonna give someone a nickname like Noodle,
Yeah, I want to know where Noodle came from.
what the
Right.
fuck? Did she like boil pasta to the point
Right.
where it got fried into the pan? Was she obsessed with noodles and only ate
It's
them
not a normal nickname.
It is
No.
not a normal nickname.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have to say, last week, one of the things that we complained, no, 2 weeks ago, one of the things we complained about was that the audiobook narrator could not do a British accent. The narrator for this audiobook could totally nail an Australian accent.
Yes.
It was really good.
Who was Australian?
The uncle that smokes weed.
Yeah.
The one that lives in the attic. Yeah.
Benny, yeah.
Holy shit. I missed that detail. Never. Mm-mm. He was just the weirdo, dirty uncle from Portland. Never. Nope. No Australian there at all.
He was international student where they all went to college.
Not in my brain. He wasn't. So.
Totally gloss over that detail.
Completely.
Hilarious.
Oopsie. All right. So one of the topics that was discussed in this book was failure to launch. And I feel like this happens a lot in like the holiday books that authors will put out. Do you feel like this is a love it or hate it kind of, I guess this would be a trope, right? Yeah, that's considered a trope, failure to launch.
I agree.
Yeah.
Trope, yeah.
It's a trope.
So I feel like the failure to launch trope is not as effective with the 20-somethings of today as it was with the 20-somethings of 20 years ago.
Yes.
When we were in our 20s, it was a big deal if you were still living at home.
Yes.
Agreed. Now, it's just not the same.
It's not.
It's not the same.
It doesn't have the same weight because multi-generational families is a real thing now.
Mm-hmm.
We are living with our parents and our grandkids because we have to save money. This economy, nobody can fucking afford to live on their own.
Yeah.
No one.
I actually know somebody who has a grown 18-year-old son and she lives with her parents and she's perfectly content doing it. I'm like, I'm glad you get along with your parents. I would never be able to do that. But
it's on the table for our girls to go to school locally until they figure their shit out and live at home. I mean, I live in the DMV area, right? So like there's so many universities here that they commute.
I'm trying to convince James that he wants to go to MIT, and he told me he doesn't know if they have a good math program, which I was like...
MIT. Nephew.
But he was like, well, you know Virginia has a tech school, too. And I'm like...
So does Cal, and so does Pennsylvania.
Have a tech school, son. But, like, you know, him going away from home, like, that's going to be a challenge for him. Not to say that he won't be able to do it, but...
He 100% can.
Yeah.
He's a rock star.
I just don't think the failure to launch trope is as relevant today as it is before. And the stories are more like what Malin had. She went away and it didn't work out and she had to come home to save so she could be on her own again.
Yeah.
Failure to launch
is normal.
Failure to launch is a boomer narrative towards our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, I didn't hate it, but at the same time, like, it made me think about my own kids and like failing to launch because we're getting there like really close. And part of me is like, you better not come back in this house because I'm making Chloe's room my office and Cecilia's room my Peloton room. So like bitches better be gone when they go. Like, is all I'm saying. Like, I love you, but mama got plans for your space. So better be gone for good. But they don't have to do that right at the stroke of 18 either. So yeah.
Tom's like, when they turn 18, we're done parenting. And I was like,
no, parenting's a lifetime.
Right?
Like, I mean, I don't always get along with my mom, but my mom still has advice that is solid to this day. She has been in situations that I haven't as a parent. So
I have the opposite feelings.
Yeah.
Valid. Very valid.
I mean, grain of salt with my mom. Grain of salt with my mom.
I'm going to have to get Sam to a place that he doesn't need to cuddle me every day before he's going to be ready to get out of his house.
Oh, no, he's going to find the best girlfriend or partner, and they're going to love cuddling. He's going to have it like his priority when it comes to partners.
Listen,
he's going to like cuddling.
But cuddling better end at cuddling until that motherfucker is out of the house. Because I am not doing extra grandbabies up in this. We are not having little Watkinses running around.
Mm-mm. That's what I said too. We were just talking about this.
No little Watkinses in your house?
Yeah.
No little Watkinses in your house?
No.
It was a joke, Katie, because, Anyways.
I didn't get it.
Because she said no little Watkins in her house, so you don't want any little Watkinsons in your house either.
No.
I'm pretty sure if I shipped my current Watkinses to Katie's house, she would love it.
Oh, yeah.
We would have so much fun. We would do all the things.
They would love going, hanging out with your chickens and...
Heck yeah.
Tractors.
I'm trying
going to the pond with Steve, going fishing, all the things.
They would love it. They would love it.
Okay, so now that we had a nice warm moment about our kids, let's talk about the spice factor in this book. And it's probably been because I've been reading the hair pulling, ass smacking, Kindle Unlimited reads to just jack up my numbers. But I felt like the spice was just not there. It was sweet.
I didn't feel like it needed. It was sweet. I don't feel like it needed to be spicy.
Yeah,
this wasn't a book that needed spice.
Yeah, I feel like it was just good. It was a good amount.
It's 3 books in a row this month that have been relatively closed door. And only one of them bothered me. And that was, actually, no, I was fine with it in Royal Holiday too, because I really just did not want to read about old man balls.
Word.
But yeah, I mean, so I think when you have a holiday book that has too much sex in it, then you end up with something like Trick Shot, and then I feel really weird. And of course, the Naughty Nicks that I'm reading now, I don't know. I don't know.
It's not always needed. It's not always needed.
You don't have to shove a Christmas tree up somebody's ass to make it a holiday book.
Wow, you've read that.
Trick Shot.
Trick Shot.
It's actually not up her ass. It's her
vagina. It's in her vagina. That's right.
A Christmas tree.
No, she has
like pine needles and all.
Vibrating butt plug up her ass.
Pine needles and all.
No, it's glass.
Like the Charlie Brown tree on the X-ray in her vagina.
And how did that get up there? I fell on it.
Fell on it.
Ho, 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 bitches.
Fell on it.
Oh, bitches.
Fell on
it. We are so funny.
Katie, how many times when you were in the ER did you have to pull things out of people's butts?
So I personally never had to pull anything out of somebody's butt. However, I was involved in 4 cases in the ER and 2 cases in the ICU, because the 2 in the ICU had to have operative intervention to remove said fallen on objects.
Mm-hmm. Or were they all men?
All but one. Yeah. Of varying ages too. I had a super young one, and then I had an older one that I was like, "Sir,
you know better. You're a grown up.
Why?" Yeah.
Listen, go online, buy it online. It comes discreetly in a package, right to your front door.
Just don't put it there if it's not supposed to go there. Yeah, literally. Every item was not a sex toy. That's the thing that killed me. There are a plethora of options to put.
People are so ashamed,
but don't.
They're so ashamed to experiment and figure out what they like and don't like, and it's so wild in a world that we've become more sex positive that we are still having to do.
It's more embarrassing to buy a butt plug from Adam and Eve online or to go to the ER and say, I fell on it.
Right. Yep.
My wife's water cup was just sitting there and I backed up, and next thing I know,
it was in my rectum. Damn near killed him. So.
Water cup, like the one that you're holding? That would go up there?
I've seen
Yeah,
the
girl.
size up.
No.
Men folk. Okay, more questions, please.
No, I don't image.
This is not a Christmas themed discussion, apparently. We are the ho ho hos, apparently. So, so I really like the overall pace of this book, but I do feel like sometimes when authors do like a holiday themed book, they drop the pace. What I was thinking of was, even though she's my queen and I love her, Sarah J. Maas, her novella in ACOTAR really drug on, and it was like the holiday book. So did you guys like the pacing of this? Do you feel like it read well?
Besides the most recent one, Silver Flames, that was my favorite of the
Shut
four.
the front door. Are you kidding me?
It was
my
so
least
cute.
favorite. It was cute, but it wasn't like, I didn't feel like we needed it. It was literally just the Christmas edition.
War.
I love the war, so
okay.
Y'all need it.
We just
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I felt the pace was pretty good in this, except like I said previously, I would like at least one, but really preferably two more times that she jolted back. I just felt like 3 times was not enough.
That's what she
The
said.
Pacing was fine. I feel like it started to get slow near the end.
Only 3.
Go home now. Bye, guys.
He's been paid for this episode, by the way.
Yes.
Okay, so pacing.
Look, Molly is putting us back on the rails. That's how off the rails we are. Molly's the responsible adult today's episode.
It's never a good one.
Molly has like 3 more days worth of writing she wants to knock out.
Like all in one day?
No, like dates. Like I wrote out all of December 31st, 1993, and I want to get just January 1st out, and I want to get like the next date out.
Okay.
Because of my outline.
We'll focus. Okay.
Sorry, I love you guys. But we're talking about like books I don't know about, and I feel like I'm on the outside.
Mama
don't know.
We've asked you to read the motherfucking book.
I don't like them.
Well, whose problem is that?
Yours, because I don't like them.
That is your problem.
No, if I don't like something, it's everyone's problem. We know that by now.
2 out of 3 book besties like it.
Legally, we're the book besties. She's an add-on. I love you, Katie.
Ooh, that one cut deep.
My dream was me in April. I met you via this fancy box.
It's fine. I know where I rank. I'm just an add-on.
I love you so much. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I legitimately forgot what question we were talking about.
Fucking pacing. I was trying to answer the question. Christ.
Go ahead.
Round 2.
Okay, the pacing of this book. Look, the speed of it was fine. There was parts like the fucking snowball fight.
Yeah.
There was like little sections where I was like, okay, this scene could be shorter. Okay, this scene could have been shorter. What are you doing, April?
Oh, there was a gnat. Sorry.
I just saw. Sorry. So the pacing was like, see? There she goes again. I'm 80.
There's a gnat. Just fucking,
Okay, so the pacing. Like I said, there were sections where the book definitely needed to be cut down in scenes. The snowball fight, for example, like, I was like, what? What? Okay, no. And then the ending where they're all fighting and broody and moody and like everybody's not saying anything and everyone knows they're fighting, but they're not fighting. It just dragged.
Snowball fight was how she died the second time.
Yeah.
You know where she needed to die the third time? Sled riding with Andrew.
Yes, I was thinking that. I really thought there was going to be a death in the sled ride. That really,
needed
truly
to be
thought
the death.
That.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would have
truly thought that.
Also, I just want to go on record and say that this is too many holiday traditions. It's an unnecessary
So
amount.
many. Oh my God. It's so we moved into our house. Go ahead.
There's a snow creature building competition. There's a scavenger hunt. There's the cookie making. There's the church. There's the dinner. There's the gift exchange. Like, come on.
The sledding.
And the sledding. I'm exhausted thinking about that schedule.
Right?
Malin doesn't want to give it up. Like, she's like, oh, this is like the end of the world because I won't have this anymore. And I'm just like, that sounds like a nice break. I would take it.
Because she's not a grown-up yet. She doesn't know how exhausting organizing that bullshit is.
That's right. That's why the moms
it's so fucking exhausting.
We ain't cooking no more. Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's exhausting. Be a mom. You'll know how exhausting tradition is.
Word. Not just a kid up. You got to be an actual grown up now, May.
Noodle. And at least for most of the time that she was growing up, there were 4 kids. At least for most of the time, there were 4 kids. Now there's 6. Right. But at least for most of the time, there were 4. That's a lot. That's too many. It's too many. Too many
slices. It's enough slices.
But I did. So this goes into the next question. I did like the church scene with May and her mom. I did feel like
also I don't ever see that, so I was excited to see that.
What do you mean Christmas you don't ever see that?
Christmas books, Christmas movies, they rarely.
They never bring in the religious aspect of like the most one of the most religious holidays. Yeah, I liked it. Did you feel like though that was the point where things tipped? And that's like the universe showed her, or do you feel like it was? I kind of felt like it was earlier when she was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead with Andrew and I'm gonna pursue this." But then I think like the scene with her mom like confirmed it for her that like this is okay. I am doing this. So
that's why I feel like her dying again when she was sledding with Andrew and then having to start over, then that would have made the church scene with her mom more impactful.
Yeah.
Like that I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of the woman you're becoming. I'm
like the work you've put in.
Yeah.
Like I think sorry.
And coming from somebody who does attend church regularly, I really appreciated that they weren't just going because it was Christmas. She actually mentioned how frequently she goes to church at home too.
Yeah.
That is a part of her family.
It's a part of her who she
that
is.
That does not happen in secular books. It just doesn't.
No, but it's true. That's how people live. That's part of who they are, is their religion, their their practices and how they celebrate it.
Christians exist outside of Christmas and Easter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but there are a lot of people who just go to church on Christmas and Easter. Too.
Oh yeah,
so
there
like,
is there is Christmas Easter Catholics for sure.
Yeah. C&E Christians, that's what we call them. C&E Christians.
I am not be seen.
Our little agnostic friend.
I feel like her transition and change started when she sent that email. When she finally decided to quit work. That's when the dominoes started.
She did it because she was impulsive and going to reset. She needed to do something. She needed to reset still and then make that choice because she was making that choice.
Actively, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because she was just like, who cares? Fuck it. I'll have the job tomorrow when I wake up on the plane.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So the last like big ultimate scene is when and then what starts all this, the catalyst for all this is May finds out that the owners of the cabin are selling it, and that's how she's all distraught. So the last little bit of it is she decides she's gonna buy the cabin, and lo and behold,
she now has no job and still lives at home,
but she has plenty in savings, so it's totally okay. She'll pay for crazy apparently Australian Uncle Benny to live there, which I was like, logistically, this is just not going to happen.
None of this is mathing.
Yeah, none of this is mathing. But Australian Uncle Benny owns stock in Spotify. So
he's secretly wealthy and nobody knew it.
Yeah, because he dropped $100 for a cup of coffee. So how did we feel about this twist? Did we like it? Do we feel like it could have been it was
bullshit flag, man. Come on. You're telling me that man is a multimillionaire and his 3 best friends fucking don't know that?
Right. They probably do.
Eat shit.
Just Malin and her one don't know.
It would be a family secret everybody talked about. And Uncle Benny would be paying for trips because how long did they probably keep Uncle Benny above water for years?
Yeah, but
That's how real family works.
I have a
We
feeling
use each
that
other a little bit.
the kids wouldn't know just because it wouldn't have been talked about with them, because the kids aren't footing the bill for any of this. They're not
That's
contributing
true.
at all.
But-
it was unusual that Theo and
But-
what the fuck's her brother's name? Whatever her brother's name is, they cooked dinner that one night, and it was like, oh, why would they do that? That's not how this rolls. Like, I have a feeling that the grown-ups knew that Benny was wealthy.
But here's the deal.
The kids didn't, because they aren't involved in those conversations.
The walls have ears in every home that has children. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me if you have a conversation with Tom and the boys overhear it, they don't learn that information? Because I know my kids do.
Say anything around James.
That's what I'm saying. Those kids would have overheard Benny had money.
Okay.
They would have.
Okay, I'll give you that. I don't totally agree with you, but I give you that. But I think for me, what bothered me was that she just expected Benny to just uproot his life.
Right.
I live in Utah. She was just like, it's fine. I'll pay. Like, he's that kind of uncle that he'll just be like, sure, that sounds like a great plan.
I don't think this was the solution, though. Mm-mm. This shouldn't have been the solution.
What the solution needed to be was her and Andrew buying it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I honestly don't think they should have kept the house at all.
It could have been the house was sold to somebody else, and then the epilogue is her and Andrew buying it for their families.
Well, or like them starting a new tradition or a new Christmas or something. But it was very apparent nobody else wanted to go back there. You know what I mean? Everybody else was done but her.
I agree that no one wanted to go back there. I think everybody really enjoyed it. I think that it was just not financially a good decision for Andrew and Theo's parents anymore.
Yeah. I feel like the obstetrician dad, though, like, why didn't he step up? OBs make good money.
That's
his wife's remarried, so he doesn't have to pay her alimony. May's not under 18, so he don't got to pay her child support. The younger brother, which I can't remember his name either. That's how impactful his character was. Miles. That's it. But like, he's going to college, but like, I felt like if anybody could step up financially too, it'd be the dad, who was an OBGYN, for crying out loud.
I don't know that it would make sense for him to do it, though, because he's still the divorced guy.
Right. It wouldn't make sense from the storyline.
The most adult decision is for them all to agree together to fix it up if they wanted to keep it.
But money and friendship don't go together.
Very true.
They've been footing the bill for all of their kids' lives.
I know.
I'm not saying they're not splitting the cost. Okay, so there are plot holes. Okay, right. I'm not saying that they're not splitting the cost of food.
We're getting really into the intricacy of this situation.
Riddle me this. Like, think about this. Does this come from the fact that we're in our 40s and we like look at it from that way? Like, if we read this in our 20s when we had we would not have babies or no babies, would we be having this discussion at all? Like, would it?
No.
We would have like never been like, oh, May should buy the house. Like, that would have never crossed into our realm.
I can see your point, but there are so many authors, and I'm just taking a guess based on their picture and how long they've been writing. I'm guessing Christina Lauren, that the two of them are probably close to our age, and they're writing, these characters in their 20s. There are so many authors that are our age that are writing romance novels with kids in their 20s.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, we're still reading them.
True. Living vicariously through those pages of those 20-year-olds.
Yeah, they look around our age. I'd say 30s. 30s.
Well, a few days after this episode launches, I will be turning 42.
I thought you were going to say 32. I was like, yes, girl.
That would be awesome.
Ugh, no.
Yeah, this episode premieres on the 19th, and my birthday is the 22nd. So everybody, wish me a happy birthday.
Word. All right, April Goodreads. What's your Goodreads rating?
I gave this one a 4 out of 5, and
wow.
I was
that's higher than I gave it.
I was digging it. I said, Anna Holidaze uses Groundhog's Day trope of resetting time until you get it right. Sometimes I think these kinds of books go overboard with the number of times the character resets, but I think this book needed one or two more. With that said, I enjoyed the story a lot. I liked the idea of Malin and Andrew being lifelong friends to lovers. I liked the weird triangle element with Andrew's brother Theo. I liked the sound family vibe. Personally, this family tradition sounds like my worst nightmare, but the book was cute. 4 out of 5 stars, cozy holiday read.
I gave it 3.
I gave it a 4. I gave it a 4. There was just too many plot holes for me. The dwindling magic really fucked me up.
I love that you give a book 4 stars when you say there's too many plot holes. Like, there's too many plot holes, I'm like 2.
Well, I really have to find problem with the characters to go below a 3, you know?
You're too kind to these authors sometimes.
Because I'm in their shoes, man. I don't want my feelings hurt. You think
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking on Goodreads?
Feelings hurt.
No, because I'm not looking on, you know why? I'm not looking on Goodreads. You guys are. And then you guys are going to be like, you don't need to look, Molly. That's all it's going to be. That's how it's going to go. And my kids will get on there and be mean because they don't like people being mean to their mommy. And don't be nice to my mommy.
It's a whole
Well,
vibe.
this is it for our season, gang.
This is it. Season 5 complete.
Yahoo!
We're going to
Dunzo.
be doing the TikToks and the Instagrams. We'll still be there. I am already posted. Molly and I both posted what we plan to do during break. What we plan to read.
I'm really
during
excited
break.
about it.
I actually started The Endurance of Wildflowers yesterday. This is a novella from the Confidence of Wildflowers series, and
I really liked those.
they're really good.
Really good stories.
And it's one of those things where I really enjoyed both of them and gave the first one a 4 and the second one a 3. But I really enjoyed both of them.
Yeah.
I've never read it.
Like Jurassic Park, I gave a 3, but I liked it.
I know. You know, Jurassic Park is one of our top one of our top episodes right now.
Why? What? Who's listening to that episode?
I have my 2 theories.
Why?
1, people writing papers for school.
Mm-hmm.
2,
I don't think we're a good resource.
2, no, absolutely not. You guys are fucking idiots. 2, that's the episode I announced my big move. That's the episode we talk about me coming here. That's the episode we talk about like the changes in my life.
Mm.
It's possible. We couldn't say the potential changes in my life at that time.
Nope.
So I was moving to Ohio. But I did not move to Ohio, and I still live in Virginia.
Wah, wah.
Katie said
I like it here. Today my oldest son, was getting stuff for Spirit Week at school. And by the way, one of the days, December 13th, is Taylor Swift's birthday, and that day is Swiftie Day at school, and they're supposed to wear something that's
God,
Taylor
I
Swift.
love that.
Travis Kelce theme. So he wanted to, he's like, I'll just wear a football t-shirt. And I was like, cool. Well, we've got Browns t-shirts at home. He's like, I don't want people to see that. And I was like, why? He's like, because it's Ohio. And I don't want people to make fun of me because it's Ohio. They'll think I'm weird because it's Ohio. And I was like, you know what? Shut the fuck up, son. Like, I am not paying $30 for you to have a t-shirt for a team that you don't care about. I will make you some Taylor Swift beaded bracelets, and you can give them to your friends.
And wear them with your damn Browns jersey.
You will not insult the brownies.
It wasn't even about that. It was like fucking Ohio. Like, what the fuck, man?
Oh yeah, middle schoolers are like all about
Stan
it.
is so defensive of Ohio because he was born there.
He's like, my Ohio.
He's like, you don't know about Ohio. I was born there. It's a great state. I'm like, how the fuck do you know about Ohio? You were 1 when we moved here.
He's like, it's in my blood. My blood, Mom.
And I let it happen because I'm proud of Ohio. A little less proud some days, but I'm proud of Ohio.
That's funny.
Anyway, I just think it's funny. Tom tried to tell me today that Ohio is the Florida of the Midwest. And I was like, no, sir, that would be Michigan. If any state in the Midwest has Florida man, it's fucking Michigan.
I'm actually going to agree with Tom.
Disrespectfully, fuck you.
Amen.
As the Tioga County resident here, like born and raised, I also am from the Florida of New York. Thank you very much. Bath salts rule the nation in Tioga County. Thank you very much.
Ohio is not the Florida of the Midwest. It's no.
That's okay.
Do you not know about people from Michigan?
I do. Still kind of disagree with you.
You know what? Fuck you.
And that's a great way to end this season, guys.
Fuck you of the season.
You know what, fuckers? We've enjoyed spending the season with you. We cannot wait for you guys to come back.
Stop calling our fans fuckers.
Okay, you can do the outro then.
I think Katie's going to do the outro. It's her episode.
Oh, right, no. I'm just going to end it on.
Okay. Oh, listen, I'm not the one that said that. I offered to give you a spot in the intro. That's your girl Molly over here.
That's
all
your
right,
girl.
we'll be back in February. We'll be back in February with romance novels and our friend Nikki Payne. We'll be back. It actually comes out next month. You can pre-order it now. Sex, Lies, and Sensibility. That's what it's called. It is available It's available for pre-order pretty much everywhere. Check social media for special stuff, including what we'll be reading in February. Anything else?
I might go live writing a couple times. Who knows?
All right. See. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Oh!
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Book Besties. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The views discussed here are those of April, Molly, and Nurse Katie, not those of anyone else. Today's book was In a Holidaze by Christina Lauren. Your Book Besties are Molly Biggs and April Watkins. Editing by Thomas Watkins, and music is Sleep Sweetly by Brigida. Don't forget to follow the Book Besties on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. If you'd like to contact the Book Besties, please email us at bookbestiespod@gmail.com or visit our website, booksbestiespodcast.com. Until next time, besties, get lost in your favorite book.